Hadrian's Wall was the northwest frontier of the Roman Empire for nearly 300 years. It was built by the Roman army on the orders of the Emperor Hadrian, following his visit to Britain in AD 122. At 73 miles, 80 Roman miles long, the most famous of the frontiers of the Roman Empire, the Hadrian's Wall, and it was made a World Heritage Site in 1987. Although mainly built by the legionnaires, the wall was manned by auxiliaries. There were originally into regiments, normally around 500 to 1,000 strong, and that could either be infantry, cavalry or both. The 500 strong mixture of infantry and cavalry units was the workhouse of the frontier. So Hadrian himself, the man, who was he? He was born in Italica, close to the modern Seville in Spain, a small Roman settlement. Hadrian was a member of the Nerva Antonine dynasty. That's a name we've heard before, eh? Hadrian was a lover of the Greek culture and promoted it throughout the empire. Unlike his predecessors, who mainly ruled from Rome, Hadrian travelled across the provinces whilst emperor. Hadrian came to Britain in AD 22.
Hadrian's last years were marred by chronic illness, and in AD 138 he adopted Antonius Pius, it's that man again, to be his successor. Antonine obviously went on to build the Antonine's Wall in Scotland.
Remember these steps taking twice as long as they probably should last time. When I come here, when I come down with a dog, a little chihuahua bouncing down here like a Thompson gazelle, being chased like a cheetah, and I was coming down like a dying sloth. But yeah, slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? So here we are, the Sycamore Gap, or the Robin Hood tree, from the 1992 film Robin Hood and the Prince of Thieves, Kevin Costner. And it says a few thousand years old, so at least not 1,000 years old, at least 200 years old, this tree. Quick maths is obviously a lot further back than 1992, so yeah, let's call it the Sycamore Gap, eh? Rather than the Robin Hood tree. So I suppose this would be me being the Picts or Caledonian side of the wall. Yeah, my last video you would said rather be with the Romans than against the Romans, more so when you're trying to attack that. Yeah, I don't fancy your chances. It's not just a war when the might of the Roman army behind it. It's the cleverness of, again, of how they've used the landscape. So all the hills, all the way up, makes it borderline impenetrable, doesn't it? Yeah. Rather them than me, I think. I mean, yeah. I mean, you really want to be getting over that wall to what ends. grass isn't always greener on the other side. Why would you? Decent level of freedom. Kick the asses of a few Roman soldiers. No thanks. In fact, absolutely not. They knew what they were doing, those Romans, didn't they? Real class landscape as well. You can see all the heather, purple heather on the banks. Yeah, again, we find ourselves in a very beautiful part of the country. Some nearly 2,000 years ago. Hey, you wonder where it would look like then, actually. More trees. I suppose more places to hide as well if you were going to attack the wall. Yeah, it'd be interesting to have a time machine, wouldn't it, and go back. See what the score was. How good or bad they really had it. How about this for better terminology? Or nastiness, you decide. So you know I was calling the Scots Caledonians, which I believe was the Roman word for them. We've got some finer details. I don't know if it's nicer terminology. It's not nicer terminology, I'm just going to read it to you. I thought it's funny. My wife, being Scottish, might not. So, Hadrian comes to Britain in 122 AD. Some 200 years later, it was written about, put many things to rights. The previous video was saying about the Romans and how they their take on history. Anyway, that's by the by. Carry on reading. So they put many things to rights. However, Hadrian was the first person to build a wall 80 miles long, from sea to sea, separating, wait for this, the barbarians from the Romans. Oh, brutal. Barbarians. So barbarians probably not that harsh a word, as it happens according to Roman. All foreigners who lacked Greek or Roman traditions were known as barbarians. Savages, peasants and everything else as well, I should imagine. So why Greece? So the Romans had a deep appreciation and influence by the Greek culture. They greatly admired the arts, literature.
Layman right all over it.
Most members of the elite spoke Greek. Many Italian nobles were educated in Athens. But there you go. Every day's a school day. And also, what I do about Google. Other influences of the Greek culture on the Romans was trade, banking, administration, arts and literature, what we said, philosophy, what we said, and earth science. Both clever people. The Greeks and the Romans. Yeah. Funny how all history's all interlinked, isn't it? Where we come from, where we're going. Well, yeah, deep. Where are we going? Back to the car. Back to Steel Rigg. Well, no surprise for you not new to the channel. Back to a walk, and we're back to an absolute bogfest. Always the case. Welcome to Vindolanda, an ancient Roman site that was occupied for almost 350 years between AD 85 and the beginning of the 5th century. In that time the Romans built 9 forts and towns here, each one on top of the other, raising the ground level many metres above the pre-Roman landscape and fields. After Roman influence left Britain, the site continued to be used as a British settlement until the 9th century. The name Vindolanda can be taken to mean white lawn or white field, and refers to the time of year, the autumn or the winter, when the Roman regiments built their forts here. Vindolanda started life before the construction of Hadrian's Wall, but it was to become an important part of the Hadrian's Wall landscape. It was used as a construction and garrison base, and to control the main highway, the main Roman road, the Stane Gate, which ran just a few metres to the north of where you're standing. Vindolanda was home to many different people from all over the Roman Empire, and at its height over 5,000 people, soldiers, merchants, traders, women, children and slaves would have called this place their home. People from as far away as North Africa, Syria, Spain, Belgium, the Netherlands, France, Germany and Italy, Greece and of course Britain walked in the streets all around you. Almost every fort had its own town or vicus, and you are standing in the middle of the 3rd century town, an extension of the fort's facilities. The building before you is the military bathhouse, a large recreation centre placed in the town so that the whole community could benefit and use it. This was a place to relax, to work out, to eat, to catch up with others. It would have also been a vibrant, loud and smelly place. The heating for steam, heated floors and hot water required lots of fuel, charcoal and wood, and the 2 main furnaces would have created a lot of grey and dirty smoke. It had the only public toilet that is yet to be found in the town, and evidence trapped from within the drains of this latrine shows that all the members of the community, all ages, regularly used the bathhouse. The bathhouse was placed on the northern side of the town because the wind normally blows from the southwest, which takes the pollution and the noise from the building away from the centre of town and the fort. It's just one good example of the careful fort and town planning that the Romans had here at Vindolanda. As you explore the remains today, try to imagine the sights, the sounds, the smell of smoke, spices, animals that would have surrounded you here in Roman times. Vindolanda's archaeological story is more than just the 3rd century and 4th century remains you see in stone here. Find out more about what's buried beneath your feet, further to the south of the site.